Something's up. It doesn't sound as though it's my picture.
This hammer you bought me is absolutely useless.
Well, it's got the requisite bits of a hammer. It's got a head and it's got a handle. What's wrong with it?
It's not properly balanced.
Well, neither are you, but you don't hear me saying bollocks all the time.
I tell you, it's made in China, probably. Put together by some 10-year-old in a backstreet sweatshop. I don't know. Is it too much to ask that people take a bit of pride in their work these days?
I ask, I rarely receive.
Well, thanks for all the sympathy. God, I walk in here with my thumb half hanging off, dripping blood all over the carpet. It's only the fact that I'm blessed with an exceedingly high pain threshold that's prevented me from screaming out in agony. Honestly, I get more sympathy from the cat.
We haven't got a cat.
It's a metaphorical cat.
It's metaphorical sympathy.
This thumb is probably going to have to come off. Have you any idea how important opposable thumbs are? It's what separates us from the apes. Actually, come to think of it, remind me to have a look at Bruce's thumbs next time I see him. That could answer a few questions.
Oh, Bruce, that reminds me. He's coming round later. He wants to speak to Adrian.
Ooh.
Oi! What are you doing? The Christmas is old and irrelevant.
Christmas isn't old. It's a traditional celebration. It'll be around forever and ever.
Oh my God! Stupid!
Oh, leave Bruce alone. He's a nice enough boy. He's a bit odd, I'll grant you, but nice enough. Stop complaining. Have your cup of tea. Have a hobnob. It's Christmas. Adrian and Caroline will be here later. And remember what the doctor said about your blood pressure. You must avoid things that upset you.
I'd like to avoid Adrian.
Oh, look, they're not going to be here very long. And then they're away for a whole month. Did you book the taxi for 5?
Yes, I did. Although, why the blazes we couldn't have taken them to Heathrow ourselves, I don't know. Would have saved us a fortune. Especially at this time of year.
Because 1, you said you didn't want to spend more than a second with your son-in-law. 2, you said Harry and Jill would be on their own for too long. And 3, you said it would be too dark.
I don't. They would. It will be. I still don't think they should be going all that way with her in that condition. You're not supposed to fly when you're pregnant.
Well, she's only a bit pregnant.
Only a bit? What are you talking about? You can't be a bit pregnant. You either are or you aren't. It's a binary state. That's like saying she's a bit dead.
Oh, splendid analogy, darling. Thank you very much. Now I can spend the whole festive season worrying about our daughter zooming around the stratosphere in a tin can held aloft by something with wings screwed on by a drunk.
I have told you 1,000,000 times not to exaggerate. Do you know why they tell you to put your head between your knees in case of an emergency? It's so you can kiss your ass goodbye. Why are you so afraid of flying anyway?
Because we don't have wings and they don't give you a parachute.
As the late, great Spike Milligan once said, it's not flying that's dangerous. Crashing, however, that's bloody dangerous.
Very funny. Have you seen the time? Harry and Jill will be here soon. I'm so looking forward to Jill coming. We can reminisce and get a bit tipsy.
Oh, that's something for Harry and I to look forward to. Nothing more entertaining than watching a couple of middle-aged women getting drunk and starting to talk dirty about their old boyfriends. Just don't leave me alone with Jill, that's all I can say.
Why, do you think she's got the hots for you?
I wouldn't be at all surprised. She is totally bonkers.
She'd have to be, married to your brother. Don't worry, darling, I think you're safe.
And she's sex mad, she is. Oh, well, she was last time we saw her.
Well, she's a younger model. She's got a higher sex drive than people of our age.
It's Harry I feel sorry for. He used to know exactly where he stood. Weekends on the allotment. A couple of hours down the pub twice a week. And sex on his birthday. He was happy and contented. He was so laid back he used to have to take Valium as a pick-me-up. Now he has to take Viagra on his cornflakes just to keep up. Must be hard for him.
I would have thought that's a given. Anyway, she's just a bit eccentric. I think she probably aspired to be with an older man. Someone would show her off. I never know how they met. She always evades the question when I ask her.
Yeah, perhaps we can tie her down over Christmas.
Oh, I wouldn't do that unless you want to get her really excited.
Ah, good point. I'll pass on that. What's for dinner?
Turkey. I'm not having Adrian and Caroline go without their Christmas dinner just because they're going to Australia.
So what's for Christmas dinner tomorrow?
Turkey and trimmings.
Reheated turkey? It'll be dry.
No, I bought 2. Adrian will only eat organic turkey.
Yes. The urban eco-warrior. Rebel without a point.
Oh, leave him alone. Only problem is, I couldn't get an organic one, so I bought a frozen Asda one. He won't know the difference.
Well, he certainly doesn't know he's a prat. I still don't understand what Caroline saw in him.
Sees in him, darling. Sees, present tense. They're very happy together. You will be on your best behaviour, won't you? Caroline's even said she'd have a word with Adrian.
But what about?
About not being too sensitive when you try and start an argument.
Oh, great. So now I can't even speak my own mind in my own house. God, have you any idea what this emasculation is going to do to our marital life?
Of course I do. Discovered that years ago. That'll be Jill and Harry. Now, eat that and get rid of that hammer.
Frank, Merry
Ah, good to
Christmas.
see you.
Good to see you.
Hello, Frank.
Watch out.
Blimey, you've put on weight.
So have you. Good journey down?
Yes, thanks. Not bad at all. Came off the A14 a bit early and got a bit stuck between the Stookleys, but apart from that, fine.
He's always having trouble with his Stookleys. Won't go to the doctor, says it's his time of life. Redecorated?
Yeah, you like it?
Not much.
Why? What? Sorry, what? I mean, why? What a wonderful idea. Thank you very much, although we do actually have one, you know.
Oh, well, yes, we thought you might, but you know, it's Christmas. You can never have too much turkey at Christmas.
Well, it's a lovely thought. Now, why don't you all sit down? I'll get us some drinks. Jill? That's strange. Can anyone else hear that humming sound?
It's probably just your hearing aid. Feedback.
I do not have a hearing aid.
Well, don't worry, you can get one on the NHS. So, what time are Caroline and her randy husband going to get here?
Well, I thought they'd be here by now, but he's not her randy husband.
Well, managed to get her on the duff.
Can we please change the subject? Ugh, I do not want the image of that Platt doing the horizontal greased weasel tango with my daughter. Thank you very much.
Are you not that keen on Adrian then, Frank?
He's a complete plonker.
He's not. All right, he might have a bit of an aura of a plonker about him, but Caroline's devoted to him, and he's so nice to her.
Well, what's wrong with him then?
Well, he's very, very serious about saving the planet.
Well, that sounds admirable.
Well, he won't hear a word out of me. For the entire time they're here, I've been told not to say a thing until after they leave.
That'll be them now. Just nothing contentious, dear.
That's all I do. I'm very good at it.
Merry Christmas! Hello!
Christmas, Dort.
Hi. Nice to see you.
too.
Merry Christmas,
Merry
darling.
Christmas! Oh, congratulations on becoming impregnated. Where's that gorgeous hunk of a husband of yours? Don't tell me he's run off to Austria without you.
Austria? No, we're going to Australia.
Oh, how lovely.
Yes, we're so excited. It's a lovely country and everyone's so warm and friendly.
Absolutely.
And as for Adrian, he'll be down shortly. He's had to make a quick dash to the bathroom.
Recycling something?
Not in the way you think. There was an accident.
Now, right, hold on a minute. I can still hear that bloody buzzing noise.
Daddy, behave. You know you frighten him.
Surely not. I've been emasculated.
Hi everyone. Caroline, where's your father?
I am behind the door.
Are you all right there, Frank?
Well, the good news is I can't hear the buzzing anymore for the ringing in my ears. But I'll live.
Oh, there you are, Dad.
Yes, hello, Adrian. Yes, Caroline was saying you'd had a bit of an accident.
Oh, well, you can't do that halfway up a mountain. You'll get frostbite.
Adrian, this is Uncle Harry and Auntie Jill.
Take no notice of Jill, Adrian. She's quite happy living on her own planet. Anyway, I'm really sorry we couldn't make the wedding.
It's lovely to meet you both. Finally.
Well, you don't look much, but you've managed to get Caroline knocked up, so there must be something about you that's not immediately apparent to the naked eye. Come here and give me a hug.
Put him down, Jill. You'll break him, and I really don't want to mess on the carpet. Would you like a beer, Adrian?
Oh, that would be pleasant. Is it organic?
It was on special offer from the cash and carry, and tastes like it has been recycled several times through an incontinent gnat. You'll love it.
Guess what? Caroline and Adrian have bought us a turkey.
What are we? The National Home for Abandoned Poultry?
We thought you'd like it. It's fresh, free range, gin free, and organic.
Yes, we had the same thought, so we've bought them one as well.
So now you've got 2 turkeys. What a hoot.
No, 4.
What on earth are you going to do with 4 turkeys, Frank?
Breed them organically, I expect.
Are you cooking turkey today, Mummy?
Surprisingly enough, yes.
Since you're not cooking our turkey, may I ask what the provenance of today's turkey is?
The what?
The provenance. Where it came from. We always like to know where our food came from. After all, you are what you eat.
You must be on a right strange diet. Sorry, miles away there. Where did it come from? Yeah, Asda.
Be perfect. Has to be free range. Free range, yes, that's what I meant.
Just that I refuse to eat anything that's been treated cruelly or kept in captivity.
Oh, well, you're fine then, because we checked. And that cute little bird spent its entire life gaily skipping around the fields, eating nothing but old yoghurt pots and old mattresses, living a completely carefree life. Yes, right up to the moment when old Farmer Giles crept up on the poor little unsuspecting sod with a machete.
Daddy, it's Christmas. Season of goodwill. I think I'll just go and check on the food.
What do you do for a living then, Adrian?
Oh, this'll be good.
Thank you for asking. I'm the County Nuclear Non-Proliferation Liaison Officer.
Well, that sounds interesting. Didn't we pass a sign on the way here welcoming us to a nuclear-free county?
Yes.
If you came on the northern approach, yes, that was one of my larger projects. I came up with the idea, proposed it, and chaired the working group that put it forward to the Transport Committee. They, in turn, put it on the agenda of the Highway Sign and Steering Group that scrutinised it before handing everything over to the Finance Department. They approved the budget prior to passing it to the management team for approval. After a full evaluation, of course.
Fascinating. So, how many signs did you get up then?
One.
One? I thought you said it was a big project.
It was. However, as part of the risk evaluation process, each team had checked the veracity of the proposal by undertaking a series of trips to our twin towns across the world to evaluate how they dealt with similar projects. There was only enough money left for one sign.
And has it worked?
Oh, like a dream. Do you know there's not been one nuclear incident since that sign went up? No dirty bombs, no nuclear scares, no meltdowns, no fallouts. We're all sleeping so much better in our beds, you know. Yes. If the government would follow Adrian's example, you know, we could scrap the armed forces and Trident entirely. Yeah, and then we could rub shoulders with the great powers of the world like Liechtenstein. Then we could put a sign up on Beachy Head, remind those foreigners that we're a peace-loving nation. Yes, but all those bad people, please keep away. That'll make those pesky foreigners think twice.
Daddy, that was deliberately nasty. You apologise right now.
What for? For pointing out to the ratepayers of this parish that he gets paid £28,000 a year, private medical insurance and a Nissan Leaf, just to produce a mass of totally meaningless documentation which is absolutely no use to the people that pay his wages. On top of which, you can be sure that no matter how long he spends doing this non-job, he's got employment for life because total incompetence is a prerequisite for doing the job in the first place.
Adrian hardly ever drives his Nissan Leaf anymore. He rides his bike everywhere.
Keen cyclist, Adrian?
Oh, yes. Are you?
No. Martial arts is more my cup of tea. I'm a black belt.
Oh, in karaoke.
So, cycling.
Oh, yes. I like to do my bit. I've been on a course. If everyone rode a bike instead of driving their car, we can all reduce our carbon footprint. It's vitally important we conserve our Earth's natural resources for our children. And our children's children. And our children...
Yes, all right. You can stop there, we've got the point.
And it keeps him very fit and slim. He's got a very healthy appetite.
I'll bet.
The trouble is with you Save the Planet Brigade, you never think things through, do you?
I'm not sure I'm following you there.
Because you think you're saving the planet by not driving your Nissan Leaf everywhere and riding a bike instead, other people have to run fleets of gas-guzzling 40-foot articulated lorries all over the country 7 days a week, driven by overweight truckers just to keep you in the energy to ride your bloody bike.
I think I'm gonna go and help in the kitchen.
Adrian.
A bit harsh, eh, Frank?
Yes, it was, but God, it was fun. I'm really starting to enjoy myself.
Caroline?
Oh, they went in the kitchen to help you.
Well, I've been upstairs doing the room.
Well, you missed quite a fight. Your rude and intolerant husband has been tearing strips off your useless and nerdy son-in-law.
Well, thank you, Jill. Always good to have your opinion on my family. Why don't you slap Caroline around a bit, then you'll have the full set. How could you, Frank?
Dead easy when you've had a bit of practice.
Hello, Mum.
Hello, Adrian. You don't have to introduce yourself again, though. We have met.
I know. I was in the kitchen just now, and the bin accidentally fell over. Obviously, I cleared it up. And whilst I was doing so, I couldn't help but notice your turkey wrapper. Whoever sold you that bird lied to you. No way is that a free-range one. It was a standard frozen one from Asda. I've been on a course, so I'm a bit of an expert.
You're a bit of a...
I'm sorry, Adrian. I left it a little too late and I couldn't get an organic or free-range turkey anywhere. So I'm afraid I had to buy a normal frozen one from Asda. But I did get the happiest looking one.
What on earth are you talking about? How can a frozen turkey look happy? They spend their entire life cooped up in a shed with 50 million other birds, all pecking their own feathers out and up to their knees in crap. And then, when they get too heavy to support their own weight, they get their necks wrung, their feathers plucked, and their giblets shoved up their arse. You'd have had your work cut out trying to find one with a smile on its face.
Well done, Frank. I'm sure that Adrian is completely won over by the subtleties of your argument.
Oh, well, take the subtleties out of this. I'm going for a piss.
I tell you what, Adrian, why don't we go into the kitchen and see if we can make your Christmas dinner a little bit greener?
I'm not entirely sure what you mean, but I've always been told it's best to compromise. I've been on a course, you see. Would you like me to cut the parsnips?
I don't really think that knives are your thing, Adrian. I tell you what, see if you can work out this monstrosity. Frank bought it for me for our wedding anniversary, and it's far too clever for its own good. I need it later to warm up the Christmas pudding, and I can't work it out. Be a love and see what you can do with it.
Must have a remote control.
I think today might turn out to be more eventful than we thought, you know. If we could... Do you know, I think Frank's right. I can hear a buzzing noise now. And I know where it's coming from. What earth are you playing at this time?
Well, it's Christmas and I thought I'd treat myself to a little something to make the whole mundane, pretending to be cheerful, festive extravaganza a little more, well, exciting. I saw it in Cosmo.
Oh dear Lord, your magazine's got a lot to answer for. What is it this time?
It's called a flutterby. You just stick it in your knickers and away you go. Look, it even comes with a remote control. I feel just like the turkey. I've been simmering on low since we got in the car.
Well, that would explain the stupid grin you've had on your face all the way here. What would Frank and Helen think? Give me that.
I don't care what they think. Give it back.
Absolutely not. What do all these buttons do?
Low, medium and high. Don't touch them, whatever you do.
Sorry to disturb you. Is that what I think it is?
I don't know, never seen it before. I just found it down the back of the sofa.
Ah, well, I know exactly what that is. No wonder Helen's been having trouble. It's the remote control for the microwave. Helen! I've figured it out! You did say you wanted it on high, didn't you? Well, there's a puzzle. It's not for the microwave at all. Perhaps it's for the television. No. The radio. No. The DVD player? No. The satellite box.
You know what? I've remembered. It is mine. New car. You see, I didn't recognise it. Must be getting forgetful in my old age.
Oh, okay. If you're sure. Oh, I've never seen one like that before. I've been on a course. Never mind.
You win. Even I can only take so much. I'll get rid of it. For now.
Better now.
Oh, yes. All warmed up and raring to go. That really is a marvellous invention.
What have you done with it? You left your bag behind.
Well, I left in a bit of a hurry thanks to you. I had to hide it in the garden. Don't worry, I'll get it later. I'm not leaving that bad boy behind.
Oh, there you are, Jill. Would you like to go and freshen up?
Well, I do feel a bit jaded actually, and I think Jill's had more than enough stimulation than is normally good for her. Are we in the guest bedroom?
Yes, you know where it is.
Yes.
It's vitally important that you sterilise all your work surfaces. Actually, I've been on a course.
I'm sorry about Frank. You mustn't take him too seriously. He's just worried with you both travelling to Australia, with Caroline being pregnant and everything. He's still very protective of her. She's still his little girl and he can't let go.
He hasn't liked me since our wedding day.
Well, it was a bit dramatic, what with the fire brigade and everything. Oh, darling, don't you look handsome?
You look better than when you were a baby. Your mother had morning sickness after you were born.
Nigel, I always cry at weddings, especially my own.
Thanks, Mum. Thanks, Dad. I think...
Oh, look, bruv, don't worry about it, yeah? Brides are late to weddings all the time. Although, she is well out of your league though, innit? Hey, look, have some of that. It'll calm you down, yeah? You've not said anything for like 6 seconds. Do you want it or not? Yeah.
There wasn't any harm done. There wasn't much to damage in the first place. Luckily, there was a Burton's right next to the church. Be a dear and go and get some wine glasses.
Please tell me you're not sitting anywhere near the door on the aeroplane.
I really don't know. I've tried ringing the airline, but they keep putting the phone down on me. May I ask you something?
Permission to divorce Caroline?
No, I'd never do that. It's just that I get the feeling that you'd rather Caroline marry someone else. Other than me, that is.
Whatever gave you that idea?
Either that, or you have very bad anger management problems.
I have a what?
Anger management problem. I may be able to help. I've been on a course.
Yes, this job of yours seems to involve going on quite a few courses.
It does. My supervisor likes to send me on as many courses as she can. She says it helps with office morale and efficiency. The council even helped pay for our trip to Australia.
They did what?
Well, we were only going to go for a fortnight, but my supervisor said I should stay as long as I wanted, to see how Australia cope with the localised nuclear threat scenarios. It's what we call a win-win situation.
And do the council do this for a lot of their employees?
No. I don't think it's ever happened before. But it does mean Caroline and I can spend some quality time together before embarking on the rich journey of parenthood.
Yes, in my experience, the journey into parenthood will turn you into anything but rich. Now, if you excuse me for just a minute, I really need to speak to Helen about something.
Of course, Dad.
See?
Podemos empezar a conversar de español.
What?
Why are we speaking in Spanish?
Oh, very clever. Listen, I've just been speaking to that plonker of a son-in-law of yours.
Hey, he's not just my plonker, he's your plonker too.
Don't remind me. You know, it's the council that are paying for this trip. Oh, I don't believe it. I mean, it all makes perfect sense now, of course. They can't fire him because of the council's keep a plonker in a non-job policy. So instead, they end up sending him to the ends of the civilised earth.
I think Australia is fairly civilised these days. Do you know, I've always wanted to go there. Maybe you should speak to Bruce about it.
Hardly. I mean, he's just a beer-swilling, foul-mouthed, bigoted, muscle-bound layabout who likes nothing more than beating 7 bells of crap out of anyone that disagrees with him.
Why don't you tell him that in your refreshingly forthright way?
Because he's a beer-swilling, foul-mouthed, bigoted, muscle-bound layabout who likes nothing better than beating 7 bells of crap out of anyone that disagrees with him.
Your logic is faultless. Although I think Bruce is probably the exception to the rule. Do you know, it must be really lonely being the last perfect human being in the world.
Do you know, Adrian's hardly ever at home. He spends most of his working life out on courses. I tell you what, it makes perfect sense of those Daily Mail articles now about wasteful councils sending their employees on expensive junkets all over the place.
That's cynical, even by your standards.
And probably true. Do you know what? I'm amazed he managed to get Caroline pregnant. He's hardly ever at home.
Maybe she got it on Amazon. It's amazing what you can get with just one click.
She's certainly got it from someone that rhymes with click.
Darling, look, no one could have lived up to your expectations of a husband. Poor lad's got an impossible task. You're going to have to get used to the fact that Caroline is married to Adrian and he makes her happy. That's more important than what you or that council think, and they're going to have our grandchild.
Oh, God, yes, the thought. His genes mixed up with mine. Don't remind me.
Yeah, poor kid. Pulled the short straw there, didn't it?
What do you mean? There's nothing wrong with my genes. They did a perfectly good job of producing my daughter.
My daughter? What happened to sharing?
It is a well-known and proven medical fact that it is the male that determines sex.
Maybe when you were younger, eh? Go and check that that table's properly laid. I told Jill that you'd take them out for a walk later before lunch.
Yes, better rescue Harry. He's probably running out of headaches.
You are a bad man, but I decided to stick with you until you see the error of your ways.
I accept the punishment, but I may have to appeal about the life sentence.
Shut up, you idiot.
Okay. It's a shame you're going away this Christmas. You know, this will be the first Christmas day I haven't seen you since, well, I suppose since you were born.
Well, we were going to fly out Boxing Day, but after what happened last year, well, we thought it's safer we leave a little earlier.
Your mother's cooking's not that bad, surely.
It wasn't Mummy's cooking, Daddy. Don't pretend you don't remember.
I speak my mind. I always have, and I always will.
You don't speak your mind, you yell your mind. Just because Adrian isn't like you doesn't give you reason to constantly belittle him. And in front of those carol singers, you frightened them. 3 of them ran away and slipped over on the ice, and the rest, well, they started singing God Help Ye Merry Gentlemen instead of God Rest.
That is completely not fair. I don't always yell. Sometimes I'm rude in quite a dignified and quiet manner.
Dignified? What have you got against Adrian? He's nice. He's thoughtful and a true gentleman. Would you have preferred I'd married some Neanderthal brute who knocked me around?
No. It's just that he's a left-wing, nut-nibbling, lentil-licking, sandal-wearing, tree-hugging, cack-handed twit. I don't know. Everything about him just seems to guide you to want to take the... He's a walking disaster zone. I mean, how many times has he crunched the car now?
He hasn't driven the car since that incident with the vicar's husband and the stuffed penguin. And that was partly your fault.
Hello, darling. Yes, you're on speaker.
Look, I know I said I wanted you all out of the house while I finished off, but you've been gone nearly an hour.
Sorry, darling, got a bit carried away. We'll make our way back now. Yeah, don't want to spoil all that hard work you've done.
Oh, I'm such a lucky wife. How thoughtful you are.
Oh, Helen, I almost forgot to tell you, we had some good luck last week. We won the lottery.
You won the lottery? Brilliant! How much did you win?
£25. We bought your turkey with it.
Strictly speaking, you didn't win £25. You spent £2 on the ticket, so you only won £22.
Oh, hey, wait a minute, Harry. Do you want your turkey back?
No. That's your problem now.
Never won anything on the lottery, ever.
That's because you insist the lottery is an inherently corrupt capitalist system used only to appease the proletariat. And you refuse to buy a ticket.
That may be a contributory reason.
Do you know what, Frank? I've not won anything since we've been married.
You won my heart, my sweet.
I met you on a blind date, and that was only because my friend went off with the good-looking one. I've done the lottery on and off for years. Before that, the football pools. I've entered spot the ball competitions, raffles, sweepstakes and the bingo. I've had the occasional flusher on the Grand National and lost countless competitions I've entered. Not a sausage. When we play cards for pennies, I always lose.
Ah, well, you know what they say? Unlucky at cards, lucky with love.
Oh, shut up, Frank. You've got to admit it's spooky, though, haven't you? I mean, I'm nearly the wrong side of 40, and you'd have thought even if you played the stats that I would have won something.
Perhaps you should gamble more often. Increase your chances a bit. How often do you have a little flutter?
Oh, speaking of which, when we get back, you're going to have to get my toy out of the garden.
Me? Why me? I don't know where you hid it.
It's in the bush just outside the back door. You can't miss it.
Oh, brilliant. Did you leave your brains there with it as well? Everyone can see it.
Always hide things in plain sight. I read about it in that book about Saddam Hussein I'm reading.
Is anyone else interested in listening to Mum's tale of woe?
God, no.
Yes, of course. You were saying how unlucky you've been since you married Frank.
Some people just born unlucky.
Yes, and others have it marry their daughter.
Do you like cricket, Adrian?
No, I don't like cricket.
You love it?
No, not really.
So what does get you excited, Adrian? Tell me and perhaps I'll try it with Harry.
Just be thankful for small mercies. Do you and Caroline have any hobbies, any interests that you share at all? How did you meet?
Harry?
It's all right. I don't mind. Me and Caroline fell for each other. Or more precisely, I fell for her. Right on top of her, in fact.
Keep talking.
Oh, I'm really not sure I want to hear this.
I was on a protest march. Ban the bomb! Or was it ban the fox hunting?
Wasn't it ban the whale? Sorry, save the whale.
I really don't know why you protesters don't all get your act together and sort of combine all your little marches into one great big one. I don't know. Gay foxes against the bomb. That's got a certain ring to it.
Shut up, Frank. Go on, Adrian.
Ban the bomb! Ban the bomb! Ban the bomb!
Anyway, we were marching up Orpington High Street with our Ban the Bomb placards.
Ban the bomb!
Unfortunately, at the same time, the protesters against violence were marching down Orpington High Street. There was a bit of confusion.
Meanwhile, I was quietly minding my own business, about to head out shopping.
Sorry, sweetheart.
Oh gosh, are you all right? Again, are you all right?
Think I'm in love. I mean, I'm sorry.
Isn't that a lovely story? And while we're on the subject, you two haven't told me how you met. Wasn't it when you were youngsters?
No, very dull. What in the name of Kathmandu is that?
G'day, mates.
Helen, sorry, gotta go. See you soon. Bye, 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 bye.
Hello, Bruce. Bruce, this is Harry. This is Jill. Jill, Harry. This is Bruce from next door. I think you already know Caroline, don't you? And you can hardly forget Adrian.
No, I can't forget, can I? That's why I came over. Helen told me you were coming round. Huh. Caroline, you look a beaut. Nice to meet you, Harry, and you, Sheila.
Jill.
Yeah, right, whatever.
As much as it's pleasant to spend time chatting to you in the cold, we've got a Christmas dinner to attend to, and I'm sure you've got a publican to make rich. So, if you don't mind. Nice to see you, Bruce. Happy Christmas. We'll see you soon. Very, very pleasant. What? What are you doing in my seat?
Well, I'm waiting for a bit of hospitality here, Frank. Hey, why do you keep a hammer down the side of your cushion? Could have done my matrimonials in on a claw like that. I was thinking of suing, but it is Christmas, and I assume you're about to go and get me a refreshment. None of that English stuff, mind. Got a lager?
I'll see what I can find. Did you see that? It's Bruce. He's in the living room. How did he do that? I mean, we left him outside.
Well, he can be quite light on his feet. Can be rather inconspicuous when he feels like it.
I've had to offer him a beer now. Where's that cheap shit we give Adrian?
So, Bruce, what brings you to our neck of the woods?
Well, funny you should ask that, mate. It started out as a bit of a short break, and then I ran into this wazzock here.
There you go, Bruce.
Cheers, mate. Merry Christmas.
You know, Bruce, I'm a good judge of character. You're a complete slob, aren't you?
Now, look here, Julie.
It's Jill.
Whatever, all right? Now, I don't normally take insults from some bird like you, but Harry here sounds like a nice bloke, and I'm short on time and I need a favour.
What sort of favour, Bruce? Lord knows why, but I do feel slightly responsible for you. Bearing in mind you'd have gone home 18 months ago if it wasn't for us. Or, to be more precise, him.
What do you mean, Frank?
It's not important. I'll tell you later.
Look, I'm a bit short on time, all right? It's opening time soon, and old Adrian here's off to the beautiful land of Oz in a few hours.
What business is that of yours?
Well, as you know, your husband here has kept me on a free holiday for the last 18 months now. Even though the tucker's terrible, the weather's cold and the beer's as warm as an Aborigines armpit, I quite like it here. You've all made me feel very welcome. Well, almost everyone.
But what's this got to do with Adrian?
Not to put too fine a point on it, I want Adrian here to smack me around the back of the head with a cricket bat.
What?
I really don't think I can do that.
Well, why not? You've done it before.
Last time was an accident.
Isn't it always?
Now look, as you know, the last time you hit me, the compensation was enough to keep me in warm English beer for the next 18 months. Now, running a little short on cash, and I've come up with a little plan to do it all over again. So what do you say, my old mate, eh?
Bruce, leave him alone, you bully. Adrian would never hurt anyone deliberately, would you, Adrian?
No, of course not.
Listen, mate, I'm prepared to be reasonable about this. I only want a little tap, nothing too hard. I'll even provide my own bed. No worries.
Look, I hate to interrupt,
No,
but...
don't! Shut up, Harry. This looks like it could be fun.
What if he hits you too hard? You could be seriously hurt.
Hurt? By him? I don't think there's any Englishman that could hurt old Brucey here, let alone this big girl's playhouse.
I hate to try and inject a note of sanity here, but can someone please tell me what's going on?
Oh, look, it's really quite simple.
Is anything simple where he's concerned?
It was the summer before last. It was a jolly hot afternoon.
I'll tell you what, mate. Them was blinding.
Oh, mate.
Ha! Their bowler's arm was like a stick of spaghetti.
Oh, you're right, mate. I tell you, talk about whitewash, mate, eh?
Shares full of this.
Hey, hold on a minute, mate. Hold on a minute. Oh, yeah. Let's go get him. Oh, look who it is. It's my neighbour, Fred. Do you know what? I don't care what anybody says about you, mate. You're all right. You're an Englishman anyway, eh?
I'm Frank.
So am I, mate. Best way to be, eh? No offence meant and none taken. Hey, did you hear? We won the Ashes.
You were lucky, very lucky. It's been hot, and we're not used to the hot weather.
Oh, typical whinging pot. I'll tell you what, let's have a little game here on your lawn, eh? See if you can win some honour back for the old country.
All right, if you're sure you know which end of the bat to hold.
All right, game on. I'll tell you, we're going to need one of your lot to even the numbers up. Tasty number here will do, all right?
No, I don't think...
It's fine. It's just a bit of fun.
Don't worry, mate. I'm not going to steal your bird. I'll tell you what, you back first, all right, mate. There you go. I'll go wicket. That's the first time you've held something that big, mate. Keep a firm grip on it and don't let go. Give it a good whack, son. All right, mate. Come on, then.
Don't you worry, Sunshine. I'll go easy on you. I'll bowl it underarm.
Woo! Come on! Yay!
Bruce, mate. Are you alive?
Yeah, I've got 50,000 smackaroos. Well, fair dinkum, mate.
50 grand?
Yeah, well, you know, minus 10 grand for legal expenses and stuff.
Well, that still leaves 40. What's happened to it?
Oh, you know, living expenses and...
Let me give you a clue. Our local has been renovated, redecorated throughout. The landlord's been on 2 Caribbean cruises since this time last year. Make any connections?
Struth, mate, don't you ever stop complaining. You'd think you'd be happy that someone's coming and helped support the local economy.
But you haven't been supporting the local economy. You've been supporting just the local. Bloody typical for an Antipodean.
Well, don't look at me, mate. I'm from Australia.
Oh, good grief.
Now, look, mate, are you going to help me out or what?
No. I really don't think I can do that.
I really think you ought to reconsider, mate. I wouldn't want to make life difficult for you.
Now, listen here, Sonny.
Pipe down, Jess.
Jill.
Whatever.
Look at the time, Bruce.
It's... Struth! They'll be open. I've got to get down the pub. We'll sort this out later.
What a horrible man. He's quite as bad as I remember him. How did he know we were going away?
I might have mentioned it in passing.
This is your fault.
My fault? How can it be my fault? I only met him a few minutes ago.
You are a solicitor. You encourage the compensation culture that supports yobs like him.
I do house conveyancing and the occasional divorce. I've never sued anyone for compensation. Mind you, I did sue a cow once.
A cow? What happened?
The cow won.
What do you think he meant by making life difficult? Do you think he could Turn violent.
I am not that lucky.
Perhaps we should call the police.
No, don't be silly. He'll be down the pub for hours. We won't see him again till New Year.
Adrian's got a point, though. How can he make life difficult if Adrian's going away this afternoon? Less, of course, he's going to beat him into a bloody pot beforehand.
Oh, do you really think he might?
Well, what would be the point? He's not going to get any compensation if he starts hitting Adrian. And frankly, I don't think he's going to get any if Adrian bashes him. Even the thickest insurance clerk is bound to smell a rat when our mild-mannered nuclear liaison officer goes mental with a cricket bat again and starts whacking the same bloke they paid out to 18 months ago.
Well, that's all right then. All you've got to do is explain that to him after he's consumed his entire body weight in full-strength Australian lager. I'm sure he'll be very receptive to reason.
Don't worry. Dinner's nearly ready. Come on, Adrian. Why don't you come and help me get the turkey out of the oven?
Do you think that's wise?
Shut up, Frank. Or I might find somewhere novel to put the stuffing.
Oh, are the herb sprouts organic?
There are times when I would like to take his organic sprouts and shove them, one at a time, right up his free-range...
Oh, no! Sorry, Helen!
Bloody hell, what was that?
Adrian!
Well, from the sound of it, it looks like our factory-farmed, force-fed, GM, drug-fuelled turkey has made its final bid for freedom.
Come, amici. And that is why I don't like you.
That was amazing. You're very lucky, Frank. Helen's a great cook.
Yes, she is, yes. And what's more, she didn't panic when her son-in-law started to throw the main course around the kitchen like a demented Albanian shot-putter.
Oh, come on, Frank. No harm done. Besides, it's not as though the turkey fell out the pan, is it?
Fell out? Surprised it didn't leap out. Good grief, it must have been crowded in there. Especially after our one-man Turkey Liberation Army here tried to rescue it by leaping in.
The floor was slippery where the fat had splashed.
It's all over now. Besides, it's not as though you're short of turkey, is it, Frank? You've still got 3 in reserve.
No, thanks to you two, I shall be eating turkey and stuffing until Easter.
Oh, did someone mention stuffing?
No. All cleared up?
Yes. Thanks to you, gentlemen. Good to see you've embraced the concept of being a new man.
Yeah, we thought we'd stay out of the way. As you've now learnt to your cost, we men can be a bit of a liability in the kitchen.
Is he sticking up for me?
I wouldn't count on it.
Before I forget, thank you for all your Christmas presents, everyone.
Oh, yes. Thanks for the ski hats, Joe and Harry.
Oh, well, you know, it can get really cold on those ski slopes.
Jill, they're going to Australia, not... Oh, never mind. It was a lovely thought.
Well, I like to give gifts that are appreciated. Unlike some, hey, Frank?
Yes, I hope you've given Mummy something nice this year.
Present giving fell a bit flat, did it, last year?
Yes, and the year before that. Frank never has really got to grips with buying presents, have you, Frank?
From that, I take it something soft, sexy and see-through wasn't on the agenda?
Oh, like you'd know anything about that, sweetie.
It was something useful.
Well, that sounds all right. What was it?
An ironing board.
But you needed a new ironing board.
Yes, to go with the iron that you bought me for my birthday. Year before that, it was a food mixer.
It wasn't a food mixer, it was a food processor, I'll have you know, and they're very expensive.
Yes, and you bought it with the loyalty cards on your credit card. Do you know what? Over the years, I've had a toaster, a kettle, a bedside light, some saucepans and a set of kitchen knives.
Well, I know what I'd have done with the knives.
That sounds like a case of cutting off your nose to spite your face.
Right sentiment, wrong body part.
Daddy, you really are incredibly thoughtless. Adrian would never dream of buying me something like that.
No, I know distinctly what Caroline wants because she always tells me.
In all the years that we've been together, you've not even bought me perfume.
What for? You smell all right to me.
or jewellery, or lingerie, or clothes.
But you've got stuff like that. You've got bracelets and blouses and necklaces and knickers, and you've got a whole wardrobe full of dresses, skirts, hats, gloves. What do you want any more of the stuff for? You don't walk around naked, for God's sake.
No, I gave that up when you took up golf. It seemed to be one or the other.
Daddy, stop being so insensitive. You really ought to buy Mummy something nice.
Look, this is bloody ridiculous. You buy me tools for the garden, tools for the workshop. What's the difference? Explain to me what the difference is between me buying you an ironing board and me getting a workbench from you. You buy me a set of chisels, and I'm grateful. But for some reason, if I buy you a set of knives, it's condescending. The weaker sex? You must be joking. You lot have got it made.
Have you finished?
Yes, no. I bought you a set of slippers once.
Yes, and that was 15 years ago, and I had to take them back. They were the wrong size and they were men's.
It's the thought that counts.
Yes, it does, and you don't.
Are you accusing me of being thoughtless?
Well, let's just pluck something out of the air, shall we, at random? How often do you put the toilet seat down?
A lot more times than you put it up for me.
Saved by the bell. I'll get it.
Daddy, you really should look after Mummy more.
Oh, I know.
What have you bought her this year?
As it happens, I've bought her a weekend away in a health spa. She'll spend 2 days and 2 nights being pampered beyond her wildest dreams.
Well, if she's anything like me, she'll have some pretty wild dreams.
Now remember, mum's the word. This is probably my last chance to apply for re-admission to the human race as far as your mother's concerned, and I want it to be a complete surprise when she opens her card in the morning.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll be down as soon as possible. Thank you so much. Guess what?
Nope, no idea. Next clue, please.
That was the supermarket. Guess what?
They are running short of turkeys and they want us to help out.
No.
Well, just tell us, would you? The suspense is killing me. OK, I couldn't care less, but anything to stop him sounding like a game show host.
Well, I was in the supermarket just before Christmas and I was accosted by a nice young man. They were running a Christmas competition. Guess the weight of the turkey.
With your recent turkey experience, I think you had an unfair advantage.
Not really, it was before I started collecting them.
I'm guessing they didn't call to tell you that you'd lost.
No, I won. I actually won. Not only did I win, but I guessed it to the actual gram. It's so exciting. I was only saying this morning, wasn't I, that I hadn't won anything before. Wow, I'm so excited.
I can understand that. I won a spot the ball contest once. I was pretty excited too.
That was a local paper?
Big Boy magazine. Don't ask.
What is it?
What do you mean, Adrian?
What did you win? What is your prize?
Yes, Mummy, tell us. What is it?
A turkey.
Oh, bloody hell!
G'day, Helen, it's me, Bruce!
Yes, I can see that, Bruce. What can I do for you?
Oh, I just wondered if I could come and finish my little chat with Adrian. Do you mind if I pop in for a minute?
Perhaps I'll just pop out the back. I don't want to cause a scene.
You stay right where you are. He's nothing but a big bully. You stand your ground and you fight your corner.
You gonna be any trouble?
Me? Trouble? Make love, not war. That's old Bruce's motto.
All right, Bruce, but I mean it. If there's any trouble, you have me to answer to.
No worries, Helen. I'll be as cute as a kid. Good day, everyone. Sorry to disturb you. I just wanted to finish my little chat with Adrian before he flies off to the beautiful land down under. Oh, the greatest country in the world. God save the Queen!
Hello again, Bruce. Nice lunch? Nice and liquid?
Not really, mate. It's Christmas, so we went out. I had the Christmas mega burger. Or two.
Oh, you know, Bruce, I was wrong before. Slob really isn't the word at all.
Jen?
Jill!
Whatever. Look, I need to keep my strength up. I am a well-honed physical specimen.
Definitely a specimen.
Why, thank you, Jill.
It's Jill! Oh. Yeah, that's right. No worries, Bruce.
Now, hang on a minute, mate. Have you been in a bit of a fight or something? That's quite a bump you've got there.
Careful, Bruce. You're looking at a man who's done 5 rounds with a 26-pound turkey. You really don't want to be making him angry.
Oh, right. Yeah, I should have guessed. Anyway, Cobb, have you given any thoughts to my little proposition I made earlier? I brought my bat along.
Well, no, actually.
I really think you should.
Tell me, Bruce, why should Adrian hit you with a cricket bat? You can't make him. And if you get violent, well, there's 3 of us, and it won't take one of the girls long to ring the police. I understand they know where you live, so they'll be here pretty quickly.
Look, I wasn't planning on hitting him, mate. Why, they'd be playing on sporting.
So, just exactly how are you going to make him hit you with that cricket bat? Because you will have to make him. He hasn't got the balls to do it himself.
Daddy, you're supposed to be on our side.
I am, but only just.
All right, Bruce. Let's just assume for a moment that Adrian puts his foot down and refuses to give you a reason to sue him. What are you going to do about it?
You sure you want to find out?
Speaking purely hypothetically, yes.
All right, well, as you know, most of my mates have now gone back to Oz. 3 of them work in the immigration department, one of which works in the visa section, making cross-checks against known and suspected felons. Beginning to follow my chain of thought here, Blue?
You wouldn't dare.
Of course I would, darling. What's the point in having mates if you can't call in a few favours now and then?
But what can you do about it? They've done nothing wrong.
Well, I know that, and you know that. But computers are pretty mindless, aren't they? All I have to do is give my mate in Melbourne a quick call, a few taps later, and, well, let's say drug smugglers come in all shapes and sizes, don't they? He'd have his visa revoked quicker than you could say spliff.
What's a spliff?
I'll explain later.
Be a crying shame to miss out on the trip of a lifetime if you spend your entire flight worrying about your reception at the end of it.
So you're saying that unless Adrian hits you with that bat, you can arrange to have him stopped by immigration at Sydney and put on the first flight back?
Oh, not straight away, mate. I'm sure I'd have to spend a few days in a local jail first. Or the local inmates would like a young man like you there, Adrian. Anyway, that's about the size of it. So what do you think, me old mate?
I still don't think...
Impressed though I am with your cunning plan, Bruce. What about the insurance company? They're unlikely to pay out to the same claimant who was hit incidentally in the same way by, incidentally, the same person they were insuring last time.
Well, that's where you're wrong, me old mate. See, one of my other mates works in an insurance company, in the claims department. And you'll never guess what insurance company he works for.
The same insurance company that insures Adrian's council.
Spot on, mate. All we need is the proper paperwork from the local A&E to make it legit, and my mate will send me the cheque. The only thing is I don't know how much I'm going to get this time.
Oh, about 5 years, I would have thought.
Oh, don't you worry about it, mate. Look, we put the claim in, my mate rubber stamps it, and the next thing you know, my bank account's looking as happy as a kangaroo in a long jump. Is my plan foolproof, or is it foolproof?
It's bloody madness, that's what it is.
Well, I think we should let Adrian decide that, don't you?
Well...
Adrian, you can't even consider doing it.
No. No, of course not. It's only... I'm not sure I'd fit in too well with the inherently violent structure of the Australian prison hierarchy.
You're joking! You'd fit in perfectly. Oh, there's nothing that the hard-bitten inmates of an Australian federal prison would prefer more than to spend it in a company of a left-wing pommy tree hugger. Oh, you could give them lectures on how to save the planet. Mind you, you'd have to do it standing up because you couldn't sit down by then.
That's disgusting.
Why?
I'll try to avoid explaining later.
And talking of standing up, back in a few shakes.
Now look, I don't want to rush you, mate, but we have got things to attend to.
Bruce, we've got no intention of playing along with your stupid scheme. I think you should leave right this minute.
Quite frankly, I don't much care what you think. You're nothing but a stupid, empty-headed bimbo anyway.
Quite a beaut, stupid empty-headed bimbo, but just butt out and let the men do the talking, all right?
How dare you? That's my wife you're insulting.
Oh, yeah? And what do you plan on doing about it, you great possum's poodle?
I've had about as much as I can take. Trying to frighten me is one thing, but nobody upsets Caroline while I'm around.
Now, steady on, mate. You could do some real damage with that thing. You could hurt someone.
Good. I've had a lot of practice at causing accidents. You wanted me to hit you with this bat. Well, in all excitement, I'm not sure I can remember how hard to swing it without actually killing you. So tell me, do you feel lucky? Do you? Punk? Come on. Make my day.
Just calm down, mate, all right? Just steady on. I was only joking, mate. Just calm down, mate, all right? Hey, look, calm down, mate. Look, just be careful with that thing. I don't know what you're doing with it, do you? Jesus Christ, that really hurt!
Crikey, do you think he's killed him? No, you've got more chance of killing an ox with a fly swat than Adrian has of hurting Bruce with a bat. Actually, I'd better check.
Are you all right, Adrian?
We're fine. Wasn't he brave? Adrian, I'm so proud of you.
The bigger they are, the harder they fall. I've been on a course.
What on earth was all that commotion about?
Oh, nothing to worry about. Just your lovely son-in-law poleaxing Bruce with his own bat.
What? Oh, great. So I suppose that means fire, police, ambulance, all over again. Do you know, it's no wonder they're short-handed if they've got to keep an entire division on standby just in case you should happen to pop round. But you're the one that's in trouble now, perpetrating a fraud. What do you think, Harry? 5 years?
Well, I think you should be very pleased that your son-in-law stuck up for Caroline.
What, him?
I don't think Bruce will be causing any trouble for a while.
What, with his history of litigation? Good grief. You're not only lining yourself up for a period in prison, you're also keeping him in beer for the rest of his life. Whatever happened to your pacifist morals, Adrian? You're a bit lax in applying them, aren't you?
I don't think Adrian's got anything to worry about. In the first place, we all heard Bruce demand that he hit him. So he did. Fair dues as far as I'm concerned. And we all know enough about what his friends were prepared to do to keep Bruce quiet. I'll have a word with him later.
Well, he's still alive. In fact, he's so well that he's popped off down the pub for a quick pick-me-up. Adrian, don't worry, you didn't actually hit him. I think he might have hit his head on the wall as he slipped on the carpet. But you did make a dent.
How big a dent?
Only a little one. Enough to keep you busy for a few weeks, though.
Why is it, whenever you come round here, you cause trouble? You're a walking disaster area. God alone knows what my daughter sees in you.
Daddy, leave Adrian alone.
It's all right, Caroline. I think it's time you and I had a chat.
All right, calm down, Rambo. Come on, Helen, let's go and get a top-up. I need one after all the excitement.
Perhaps you'll give him a hand, Caroline, whilst your father and I have a little talk.
Are you sure?
Yes. Yes, I am. It won't take long. It's been obvious to me for some while that you think I'm not fit to be married to your daughter.
Well, I thought that was obvious to anyone that got eyes in their head.
From the moment Caroline and I met, you've criticised me at every opportunity.
Well, it hasn't been difficult and you deserve it.
No, you do it because you think I can't or won't fight back. I'm sorry to have to be the one to tell you this, but you, sir, are a bully, masquerading as a protective father.
I hope you know what you're talking about, because I sure as hell don't.
I know what I am. I am painfully aware that there are many men who are more talented, better looking, and have better social skills. But I believe Caroline agreeing to be my wife is more good fortune than any man could expect to receive in a lifetime. You will always be her father no matter what you do or say. So, whilst you are able to take that for granted, I have to work at being her husband every minute of every hour of every day. So, please try to understand that for the time being at least, that Caroline chooses to be with me. That when you criticise me, you are really questioning Caroline's judgment. All I'm asking is that you have the humility to acknowledge that Caron has made a choice and is happy with it. Thank you. Now, Caroline and I had better get ready. Our taxi will be here shortly.
I think you'd better consider yourself well and truly told off.
He's an absolute pillock. Who does he think he is? Arrogant little sod talking down to me like that.
I think maybe you should listen to what he's trying to say, Frank. After all, you don't want to alienate Caroline, do you? And he's clearly articulated something that's been on his mind for quite some time.
Mind? He hasn't got a mind. He's... what? Why, do you think I'm a bully? I haven't bullied you, have I?
It's not for me to say, Frank. But I do know that a lot of fathers have difficulty watching their offspring flee the nest. Particularly their daughters.
I'm not really rude. I'm... Well, maybe a bit. But I've never been rude to you, have I?
Well, not since we were kids, no.
I'll think about it. I still think he talks total bollocks.
Don't we all, Frank? Don't we all?
Do you want to come and say goodbye to Caroline and Adrian?
Bye. Safe trip.
Have a lovely time.
Call us when you're at land.
I will.
Bye. Bye, darling.
Yes, love you.
Right, big boy, now's your chance.
My chance for what?
Get my toy out of the garden while the coast is clear.
Not me. I told you. You get it. I'll come with you.
Oh my God! It's gone!
What do you mean it's gone? Where did you put it?
On that branch, it was right there.
Well, it's probably fallen on the ground. Have a look.
I'm telling you, it's not there. What am I going to do? It cost me a fortune.
Never mind that. Frank or Helen must have found it.
God, you're right. Quick, come and help me look for it before they come back.
Oh, hello, Vicar. Merry Christmas.
Oh, wait, I've got an ingenious idea.
I've been meaning to ask Vicar, how's your husband?
Well, he's out of bed now, but he still won't leave the house.
Did they ever mend the penguin?
Frank. I'm sorry, Vicar. My husband's sense of humour is not particularly refined.
Don't worry, Mrs. Goldington. I meet all sorts in the course of my work. We'll be seeing you at midnight mass tonight, Mr. Goldington.
Have you got the remote? Good, we'll switch it on. We can try and listen for it.
Worth a try. Just keep an eye out for Frank and Helen.
Oh, you really should come along, Mr. Goldington. Midnight mass is such a community experience. There's always a real buzz in the air at these events.
Can you hear it?
No.
Well, turn it up higher.
I always feel a real quiver go through me on these occasions. How do you feel, Mr. Goldington?
Ecstatic.
No, it's no use. Switch it off.
Well, if you can't come along, do you have something we can sell at our Christmas bazaar?
What? Oh, as a matter of fact, I have.
You've done this on purpose. Put that away. Read the precious newspaper.
Well, that's them off on a trip of a lifetime. I do hope they have a safe journey.
I'm sure they will.
It's Caroline I feel sorry for.
Caroline? Why?
23 hours. Cooped up in a seat the size of a bread bin next to that idiot husband of hers.
Oh, come on, Frank. Give the boy some credit. I think he proved himself with Bruce this afternoon, don't you?
I suppose so.
And he gave you a piece of his mind as well.
Piece of his mind? Huh. Didn't think he had enough to share out. God. Well, let's wait and see if he brings Caroline back in one piece first, before I decide whether I'm going to speak civilly to him again or not.
Still, at least they'll get a DVD.
Sorry, Jill?
Yes, I read about it in the newspapers. If you go on a long-haul flight, you get a DVD.
No, I think that's DVT. Not quite the same thing at all, but thank you for giving me something else to worry about. I probably still got time to pop out and get that turkey. Does anyone mind?
No, not at all.
I'm sure it's a DVD.
Why are you bothering?
What do you mean?
I mean, why are you bothering? We don't need it.
What do you mean, we don't need it? It's my turkey, I want it, and I want it.
You're bloody mad! We've just eaten a turkey. We got 3 more turkeys to get rid of. We got poultry coming out of places that I dare not mention. We need another turkey like I need another hole in my arse. We do not need any more poultry. Forget about it.
Doesn't matter.
Oh, we've seen reason. I must make a note of the date.
I have not seen reason. I don't want to see reason. I want my turkey. I want it, and I want it, and I'm going to go and get it, and you're not going to stop me. Do you realise? In the entire time we've been together, I've never won anything. I don't own anything that I haven't had to buy myself or work hard for. You've never bought me any perfume or any jewellery or anything that will make me feel just a little bit special, just a little bit bloody feminine.
What? Like a turkey?
Yes. No. Oh, can't you see how much this means to me? Can't you see how important it is?
And can't you see that there are simply not enough words in the entire lexicon of the English language to indicate how I simply don't care?
You insufferable, insensitive, arrogant, thoughtless, irritating little shit!
Oh, calm down, woman.
I will not calm down, and I will shout if I want to, because I never complain. I never, when you're rude to our son-in-law, when you're rude to our friends, and when you're rude to me, I put up with your intolerances and your constant complaining. Oh, it was funny when we first got together, but now it just gets on my tits. So I'm going to go out, and I'm going to get my turkey, which we don't need, and I'm going to bring it home. And when I do, I'm going to find somewhere to shove it! Sorry, Harry. Sorry, Jill.
Well, I think I handled that rather well, don't you?
I think you're running out of people to argue with. You're an insensitive sod, Frank. Go after her.
No. Best let her calm down for a bit first. I'll apologise when she comes back. The walk will do her good. It's not very far. Anyway, while she's gone, gives me a little chance to talk to you guys.
About what?
About how you got together. Helen seems to think it's a bit of a mystery, but then she's always been a bit of a conspiracy theorist. So, yes, exactly where did you guys meet?
Kathmandu.
Wells.
Harry, it was Kathmandu.
It was Tunbridge Wells. Or to be more precise, it was Tunbridge Wells Gardeners Club in the sheds behind the allotment.
Ha! You randy old goat. Come on, spill the beans. What happened?
Harry?
Come on, Jill, it's been 15 years. I think we've got away with it by now. Besides, Frank's not going to spill the beans, are you, Frank?
Got away with what?
15 years ago, I was president of the Tunbridge Wells Gardeners Club. We had a set of allotments just outside Cottingley. It's a small village about 6 miles away, about 75 houses.
Well, thank God for that. I was starting to feel decidedly queasy. So go on then, what really happened?
Well, what really happened was Jill turning up out of the blue and taking on 3 allotments at once. She had them all cleared of rubbish and weeds within about 2 days. Come to think of it, how did you manage that? I've never been able to figure it out.
Well, since we're clearing the air, it was Bob a Job week and I got 20 scouts to do it. It only cost me £1.
Well, it's not in the ethos of the scouting movement, but it's hardly worth keeping a secret over, surely.
Well, there's a bit more to it than that. You see, it was a warm summer, and whatever she had planted had grown very quickly, but none of us at the Gardeners Club knew what it was. But whatever it was, there was an awful lot of it. Jill said it was an exotic fern used in flower arranging, but I decided to have it checked out.
If only you'd left well alone.
I wasn't to know. I only asked Bill Potts to take a look.
Bill Potts, amateur pteridologist, and the local bobby to boot. He knew what it was straight away.
Well, Bill, any ideas?
Oh, yes. No doubt about it at all. Definitely, yes.
Good. Well, what is it?
This is definitely, without a doubt, species indica.
Sorry, Bill, I'm none the wiser. What's it used for?
Making hemp.
She's making rope.
No! Oh, no, not rope at all. No, definitely not rope. This is, without a doubt, the biggest crop of cannabis I've ever seen growing in the open. Ever.
Neither of us wanted to bring the Gardeners Club into disrepute, and since I'd grown quite fond of Jill, we hatched a plan to get rid of the evidence.
So, after one of the hottest summers on record, what did this pair of prize vigilantes decide to do?
I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll set fire to it. No evidence then, see? We'll set fire to it early, Saturday morning, before no one's out and about. Yes, that's what we'll do.
Half an acre of cannabis went up like a rocket. Then the trouble really started.
Well, how? There was nothing left.
Well, 3 factors combined. Firstly, the wind changed direction and blew the smoke over Cottingley. Secondly, Cottingley is in a hollow. And thirdly, there was a bizarre meteorological phenomenon called a thermal inversion, which caused the smoke to drop into the hollow and stay there.
For how long?
Most of the weekend. The entire place was stoned for 2 days. The villagers had the time of their lives. I've never heard a vicar sing Agadoo during matins before.
It was all hushed up. Most of the villagers didn't know what had happened anyway. Bill stopped any gossip, and I persuaded Jill it might be a good idea to put her misspent youth behind her.
So, no repercussions?
Well, I wouldn't say that. Jill and I did decide to get married.
I'll get it. And almost exactly 9 months later, the population of Cottingley went from 273 to 329. Made the news of the world.
Well. So Jill was importing dope seeds to grow her own. Oh, so she was a proper little drug baron. God, you wait till I tell Helen. I can't wait to tell her that little guilty secret.
Well, I suppose we'll have to tell her now, but could you wait till after Christmas, please?
Ooh, spoil sport.
Good evening, madam. Is this the home of Helen Goldington?
Frank, come quickly. It's Helen. Something's happened. Frank, you haven't had anything since lunchtime. Why don't I go and make us all a sandwich and something to drink?
Frank, we'll need to contact Caroline and Adrian. They'll want to come straight back. And we'll have to ring Tom as well. He'll want to come over.
Yeah, sorry, Harry. Not thinking straight at the moment. I'll phone the airline.
No, I'll do it. You drink this.
Thanks, Harry. The numbers are on the telephone table. Damn it.
There's no need to swear, dear. What's the matter?
You're bloody dead, that's what.
Oh, you've noticed that, have you?
Of course I noticed. I'm not that insensitive. The rest of the world, though, it doesn't care. They're just carrying on as though nothing's changed at all. But inside, and in here, nothing's going to be the same again. Some idiot wished me a happy Christmas. Called me a miserable git when I didn't answer.
No change there then.
That's the point. Everything has changed. Everything beyond recognition. Even the house feels dead.
Nothing's forever, Frank.
You think I don't know that? You think I don't know that people die? I'm not stupid, but... Not you. Not yet. How can you prepare for something like this? You can't live your life, can you, with as though everyone around you is going to snuff it the minute they walk out of the door. We never even had a chance to say goodbye. How could you do this to me?
You'll manage.
Not sure I will.
Oh, stop feeling sorry for yourself, Frank.
It's so unfair.
Look, have my funeral. Take some time. Move on.
There's no point.
Do it for me.
I'll sue the bastards.
Who are you going to sue, Frank?
The supermarket, the council. God, I don't know. Whoever it was who didn't do their bloody job.
Won't bring me back.
Somebody has got to pay. My wife's dead. My son has lost his mother. And my daughter is carrying a child that will never know his grandmother. You would have made a wonderful
It's our grandchild, Frank. It's part of both of us. It's a baby. Something to look forward to.
Somebody should pay.
It was an accident. It was dark and slippery and I fell and hit my head. It was nobody's fault. It was an accident.
I know. But I wasn't there when I should have been. I wish we hadn't argued. Should have gone after you. I thought it didn't matter. I thought I had all the time I needed. Now it's too late to make it right.
Yes.
I should have told you how much I love you.
Frank, do you take sugar?
Oh, bollocks.